Hello friends, how are you? Hope you are doing well. So today we will start one more case study to review the environmental report. So today the case study is for Google and we will see what is the data covered for disclosures related to the environmental sustainability, and we will analyze that information, and this analysis can be useful for ESG and sustainability students, those who are interested to learn about sustainability strategy implementations, ESG audits, ESG assurance. Okay, so we'll go through with this report one by one. We'll see the table of content, what is covered in the table of content, and then further also. This is the report latest for 2024. So see the table of content here. In this, if you see here, it is covered like what is in the report. About this report, I'll make it zoom for you. This is very important section, and this talks about environmental report, provides an overview of our environmental sustainability strategy. So definitely the company is having environmental sustainability strategy, their targets and annual progress towards the targets. Okay, we use the term sustainability to refer environmental sustainability, and this report features the data of performance highlights and progress against our target for 2023 fiscal year, and this is from January 1st to December 31st actually, and mentions some notable achievements in 2024 also. Additional resources, the information given like there are certain web pages, sustainability google.google, sustainability reports, sustainability blogs, okay, and about the organization, and using the different frameworks also, the information which is given here. Then moving forward to the table of contents, you see the introduction side, then leadership statement, strategy of the company for sustainability, performance highlights for 2023, targets and progress summary, searching for sustainability. So there are some basic information related to the sustainability strategy or sustainability initiatives in the organization. Then uses of artificial intelligence for sustainability, and it's a very interesting topic. The products, risk mitigation, adaptations and resilience related to the climate change. Okay, and the information in the our operations section, which is about the net zero carbon, water stewardship, circular economy, nature and biodiversity, and appendices here related to the organizational context, sustainability governance structure, risk management, stakeholder engagement and partnerships, multi-sector products, ecosystem for collaboration, environmental data, multiple certifications, recognitions and endnotes. We will see this information later on in the different pages actually. So first of all, we see the introduction side where we have the executive letter, sustainability strategy, performance highlights, targets and progress summary, and searching for the sustainability. Let's see what is the information covered in this. There is a letter from CSO, Chief Sustainability Officer, and the Senior Vice President of Learning and Sustainability. It's basically a commitment statement from the organizations and their C-suite positions or heads of the sustainability. So what is the commitment covered here? You see, I'll make it zoom for you. Here it is written that an important part of that is sharing that we have learned along the way and being transparent. This is more important about the progress and challenges. And our annual report, environmental report, offers a deep dive into efforts to harness technology, particularly artificial intelligence, drive positive environmental changes and operate our business sustainability. This year, new experimental AI chatbot powered by Notebook KLM to help summarize key findings, clarifying complex topics. Then what is the approach to enabling AI for sustainability? So there are certain efforts highlighted to help. Let's say for an example here, you see it's very important for ESG learners to help minimize our environmental footprint. We have built world leading efficient infrastructure for AI era, including Trillium, our 6th generation tensor processing unit, which is over 67% more energy efficient. So there are certain details available for this initiative. And also, we strive to build the world's most energy efficient computing infrastructure supported by responsible water uses, practices, and a commitment from. So, as I said earlier, this is a leadership statement where certain commitments are there related to the different materiality topics for the organization. And last year, we introduced a water risk framework to further identify climate conscious cooling solutions that consider carbon free energy availability. So, this is one more initiative. AI holds immense promise to drive climate action. So, there are multiple commitments like AI has the potential to help 5 to 10% of global greenhouse gas emissions by 2030. So, we are also advancing climate action through AI in the key areas like organizing information, improving predictions based on scenarios, better optimization. So, those details are available here in the commitment section. And how we are driving sustainability across our operations, that information is also there. In 2017, Google became the first major company to match 100% of our annual electricity consumption on a global basis with renewable energy. So it's a very important statement by the senior leadership of the organization. So that's very important, students, to learn about it actually. And then moving onwards, we see some more commitments and the achievements with some quantitative measures or qualitative data which is available here. And this is signed by the CSO and SVP Learning and Sustainability of the Google. There are certain future outlook also, like our ongoing work to build a sustainable future. So for future, what are the commitments? So there are certain informations available here actually. So if I give you an example for this, it is written here in 2023, our total GHG emission increased 13% year over year, and primarily driven by increased data center energy consumption and supply chain actually. So this is some important update. Okay, then moving forward, this is very important. What is the company's sustainability strategy? Okay, and how the company is managing sustainability within the organization and supply chain also. So let's see, Google has a unique opportunity that extends beyond managing the environmental impact to our operations, and it is written here value chain as well. Our products, which are used by billions of people every day, can enable decisions that drive positive action. So this is what we are talking about, the positive impact to the environment. Okay, and the figure below illustrates these two pillars: sustainability studies supported by our dedication to accessible information. So these are two, like what are the products, mitigation, energy, transportation, adaptation, and resilience. And in the operations, there are certain key pillars, focus areas: net zero carbon, water stewardship, nature and biodiversity, and circular economy. Moving forward, what are the 2023 performance highlights? So this information also given here. Reached 1 billion users for the products and displayed flood forecasts over 80 countries, over 460 million people. Very important information. Enabled 2.9 million metric tons of GHG emission reductions from fuel efficient routing actually. So this is like you can say, fuel efficient routing is estimated to help enable more than 2.9 million metric tons of GHG emissions reduction since the feature launched in late 2021. Okay, so this is very important information. Then we have some progress related to the net zero carbon, achieved at least 90% carbon free energy in 10 grid regions and maintained 100% renewable energy match for 7 years. Very important. Contracted 4 gigawatt of clean energy, and of course we will see those details in the later pages actually. Water stewardship, doubled our water replenishment portfolio. Okay, so increasing from 38 water stewardship projects to 74 projects in 2023. So there is a comparison between 22 and 23 data here. In the circular economy section, you see 100% plastic free packaging for Pixel 8 and 8 Pro. For the products, they are using plastic free packaging. And nature and biodiversity, created or restored 67 acres of habitat actually. So this is something related to the nature and biodiversity. So these are certain key focus areas like materiality topic, where the company is giving information in terms of qualitative and quantitative measures actually. Then targets and progress summary for the efforts what the company has done for net zero, water stewardship, circular economy, right? So if you see here, most important statement, we aim to achieve net zero emissions across all of our operations. So they focus the boundaries, setting the boundaries, all operations including value chain by 2030. So very important to learn. And then for water stewardship, if you see, we aim to replenish more water than we consume and help improve water quality and ecosystem. So we'll see what efforts are being done by the company. And then of course focusing on circular economy. So here you see in the right side targets for this particular materiality topic related matrices. Okay, run on 24/7 carbon free energy, reduce 50% of our combined scope 1, 2 and 3 absolute emissions. Then in water, replenish 120% of fresh water volume we consume on average across the offices and data centers. And the certain circular economy related targets are there, like diverting all food waste from landfills by 2025, achieve zero waste to landfill, use recycle or renewable energy, and at least 50% of plastic used across our consumer hardware product portfolio by 2025. And what is the progress for the particular year 2023? So this table shows the important update related to the progresses with respect to different materiality topics, their targets. Yeah, so that's a very important subject for all the sustainability students to learn about it actually. Searching for sustainability. Now what company is doing, like Google search provides a unique lens into the world's perspectives on sustainability and issue people care about most. So Google trends show that the world is searching for sustainability information insights like never before. For example, this is very interesting figure. 2023 search interest in jobs related to sustainability reached on all-time high. So very important statement here. Jobs related to sustainability, it reached to all-time high, and in fact we estimate that 36% of Google search users in the United States have searched for sustainability related topics over the course of a year. Then searching related to the extreme weather events, clean energy, recycling, yeah, and the relevant information or data is available. Okay, like search interest in coastal flooding, top search natural disasters. Okay, so this information can also be useful as a case study for you. Then artificial intelligence for sustainability. What is the approach of the organization boldly accelerating climate actions with AI, responsibly managing all the resource consumptions of AI and working together. So we'll see what company is writing here. What are the disclosures related to this particular subject? Okay, so company is saying that AI can have a transformative effect on climate progress. So we are harnessing our experience of AI first company to enable others. Now as highlighted, AI opportunity agenda, we are currently an inflection point where choices made today will ensure that AI is used by to benefit as many as possible. Okay, but let's see in this figure, particularly harnessing AI powered climate solution with environmental responsibility. So there are certain technical advancements or initiatives which have been highlighted here, like boldly accelerating climate action with AI, responsibly managing the resource consumption of AI, working together. There are certain initiatives, okay, which have been highlighted here. Then there is a statement from Chair Grantham Research Institute of Climate Change and Environment, London School of Economics, where he is saying that the world has in its hands the potential to apply artificial intelligence and machine learning to drive forward the net zero transition and give us a chance to stay within 1.5 degrees centigrade. So it's a very important statement, and we can see how AI can be useful for us in reducing greenhouse gas emissions actually. So here from the reporting perspective or disclosure perspective, if you see students, you see what company is writing in this particular section, the information related to this climate action with AI, how we can accelerate predictions, optimizations, right? So this is the information highlighted here actually. So if you see our cool roof tool, there is a tool which designed by company and uses AI and aerial imagery to generate high resolution roof solar reflectivity measurements. Very important, right? So the deployment of AI in crafting and executing energy strategies presents an unparalleled opportunity to transform the narratives in the global south to sustainable growth and development while meeting their future energy need. So we have seen certain initiatives by the company with respect to the climate action. Okay, moving forward, we see responsible managing the resource consumption of AI. There are certain initiatives related to that, and the information is given. Like according to International Energy Association, estimated global data center electricity consumption represents around 1 to 1.3% of global electricity demand. Okay, and Google's energy and energy highlights are also given here, like 100% global renewable energy match, and you can see 64% carbon free energy. There are certain important highlights. Okay, and if you see here, very important information, overall total GHG emission increased by 13%, highlighting the challenge of reducing emissions while compute intensity increases and we grow our technical infrastructure investment to support this AI transition. So for more details, you can see this net zero section here. So what company is writing? Based on the most recent estimates as 2022, global data center electricity consumption is this much, 240 to 340 terawatt, or around 1 to 1.3% of global electricity demand. So using these estimates as a proxy for 2023, Google data center consumes more than 24 terawatt in 2023, translates to approximately 7 to 10% of global data centers. See, this is very important figure given here. Okay, so AI is resource demand, so certain relevant sustainability information is given here. Then model optimization, efficient infrastructure. There are certain other initiatives like development and training, deployment and usage, hardware efficiency, responsible water use, emission reduction program, use of AI for climate policy agenda. So these are certain informations which have been highlighted by the organization. Like for an example, we say responsible water use. What is written here? We see how AI can be utilized in this. The expansion of AI products and services is leading to an increase in data center workloads and the associated water footprints required to cool them efficiently. So in 23, the data centers consume 6.1 billion gallons of water, 17% more than previous year, mirroring similar growth in electricity consumption as well. To put this into perspective, in 2023, the data centers use the same amount of water needed to irrigate roughly 41 golf courses annually on average in southwestern United States actually. Some data related to the waste. In 23, the company diverted 78% of operational waste from disposal across the global fleet of Google owned and operated data centers, and 29 of data centers met zero waste to landfill goals. Very important, very useful also from the circular economy perspectives to understand and learn. Then going forward, related to the products, what is the approach, mitigation, adaptation and resilience? So some information is there. The company is saying that what is their approach to product sustainability, like we are developing tools and technology that help people to mitigate and adapt to the climate change. So there are certain information related to the efforts made by the company related to this product sustainability. Okay, so if you see here certain important information, like for the past 2 years, Google has provided information to over 1 billion users to help them to make more sustainable choices annually throughout the products. We achieved this by offering very important sustainability features like fuel efficient routing in Google Map and more transportation options in search, such as train routes. Also, the company is saying we are tackling climate change by focusing on some of the most critical challenges, like what? reducing carbon emissions in sectors like energy and transportation, better predicting extreme weather to lessen its effects. Okay, also by applying AI and other cutting edge technologies to these problems, we can help individuals and organizations to achieve their goals also. Then let's see next what are the efforts related to the mitigation side. Mitigation side, we say we aim to help people make more sustainable choices to mitigate climate change. So what are the efforts? What is the approach? 1 gigaton aspiration, energy from heating, cooling, home heating and cooling, solar, electricity, grid decarbonization, clean energy partners. So there are certain informations related to the transportation, driving, transiting and urban mobility, flying, you can see. So what is the approach to climate risk mitigation? What are the performance highlights related to this? So let's say company has worked on green lighting, transportation options in search, solar API, global challenges also, that information also done here. Now what you see here, from the audit and assurance perspective or learning perspective of ESG and sustainability, you see what company is writing related to this climate change mitigation. In 23 global searches for climate risk mitigation reached an all-time high. So across sectors that have been identified by experts having largest mitigation potential, companies saying they have chosen to focus on energy and transportation. So what efforts? Like empowering individuals, businesses and grid operators to navigate the clean energy transition. Also optimizing renewable energy sources and decarbonization the grid. Supporting more sustainable travel choices across various modes of transportation including driving, transiting and flying. So some more initiative information is there, like you see here. 1 gigaton aspiration, very interesting to know what is written here. We have set an aspiration to help individuals, cities and other partners collectively reduce 1 gigaton of their carbon equivalent emissions annually by 2030. So that's a target, and for that the company is taking certain efforts like fuel efficient routing, nest thermostats. Okay, so these are certain initiatives which you can see information related to that. Sector wise, energy, transportation and building, that energy consumption is emissions are there, and you can see certain sectors, other sectors also where information is given here. In the energy, we see certain initiative related to home heating and cooling, solar, electricity and decarbonization, clean energy partners. So we can say these are some subtopics which are covered under the materiality topic called energy. Okay, and there are multiple informations available. The data, quantitative, qualitative information is available related to these sub-materiality topics actually. Here, let's say related to solar itself, the company is saying in 2015 we launched Project Sunroof to help people determine their home solar potential, and demand for solar data continues to grow in 2020. So with the help of our partners, we launched solar API on the Google Maps platform. So there is very interesting update. Okay, so this information you can utilize to learn about what Google is doing with respect to the sustainability or environmental sustainability initiative within the energy sector actually. Then it comes about the transportation. Driving related updates are there, fuel efficient routing, electric vehicles, urban traffic. So what are the efforts highlighted here already? Okay, this is for transportation. They talk about the fuel efficient routing, electrical vehicles, EV comparison, fuel cost calculator, battery range explorer. So there are a lot of information provided while searching on Google. So we can see here there are EV comparison, fuel cost calculators, battery range explorer also. So that is the information given. Related to the transit and urban mobility, flying, we see certain important information like Google Flights emission estimates. You can see generally this is available on Google Flights. Okay, so the information, if you want to find out like how much emission being generated because of the flight movement for one person, okay, per flight round trip. So that information we can see here actually, okay. And very interesting to know, life cycle greenhouse gas emissions are calculated for one passenger in the selected seating class based on the multiple factors actually. So this is also very useful information for all the sustainability students. Like other sectors, additional sector like forest, farmlands, ocean ecosystem, industrial, methane leaks, recycling. So what are the efforts company is doing with respect to all other environmental materiality topics actually, like for methane what the company is doing, right? So that information is also highlighted. For recycling what they are doing, adaptation and resilience, and in this we talk about the approach company applied, and they have developed certain tools and technology that help communities adapt to the effect of the climate change. Information highlighted here like weather and climate forecasting, wildfire detection, flood forecasting, extreme heat, air quality conditions. So this is the figure which talks about the approach to climate adaptation and resilience, where there are companies talking about weather, climate forecasting, wildfire detection, flood forecasting, extreme heat, air quality conditions. In 23, what were the highlights? This information is captured, okay. And what global challenges, and it's one thing very interesting about this report is, if you see particular materiality topic, you see some quantitative, qualitative figures already, qualitative data is also there, then performance highlight for the particular year, and the challenges also is given in the right hand side, where how during the stakeholder engagement or other processes how we face the multiple challenges actually, or maybe during the planning phase or collaboration phase, or while we are deciding the metrics and performance management system. So this information is available. Extreme event forecasting and early warning systems, certain details related to their management actions or strategic actions, what idea implemented or efforts. So this information is also available here actually. Air quality conditions, hyperlocal air quality data in Bangalore, India, that information is available. Coral roofs, school roofs, and tree canopies, like you see here. Now for operations, what is the approach? Net zero carbon, water stewardship, circular economy, nature and biodiversity. We see these materiality topics. In this, there is a certain figure. If you see here, 6 continents, the company's global operations, 200 plus cities, 60 countries, 40 Google Cloud regions, 44 data center, electricity grid regions, and 24 Google owned central locations also. So this is something about the company's operating facilities or operating assets actually. In 2023, Google had offices and data centers across 6 continents and 200 cities across nearly 60 countries actually. So this is all the information, and it's written here. You see products and services that our customer users rely on, including Google Cloud, Google Search, Google Workspace, and YouTube also, okay. Then this is very important to learn from the sustainability and ESG supplier perspective. Like we are also working worldwide with suppliers through the suppliers responsibility program. So we collaborate with the stakeholders across our supply chain to uphold our high standards of respecting workers and environment. So definitely the environmental and social aspects are covered here. Yeah, so moving onwards, you can see very nice photograph. Wind turbines in Netherlands data center, right? Near the data center you can see here. About net zero carbon, the company is saying that we are working to accelerate the transition to a net zero future at Google and beyond also. So related to this, there are certain materiality topic relevant information, what actions have been taken, what are the targets, what is the current progress now, and how the company is managing the residual emissions also. So the approach to net zero carbon, so how the company is prioritizing emissions reduction first before compensating for residual emissions, so reducing carbon emission, managing it also. So the relevant information is there. For 2023, the performance highlights also highlighted here, like carbon-free energy, clean energy procurement, 100% renewable energy, energy innovations, carbon removal procurements. So there are multiple highlights given here with their quantitative data also. This is very interesting. As I said earlier also, the global challenge what the company has faced related to the particular stakeholder and their engagements, and they are receiving their feedback and grievances also. So let's go to net zero goal. So company's target is given reducing 50% of our combined scope 1, 2 and 3 absolute GHG emission by 2030, and invest in nature-based and technology-based carbon removal solutions to neutralize the remaining emissions also. So there is a 23 progress we see here. Data million tons of CO2 equivalents. Blue color is for total emissions, and this gray color is for business as usual footprint in absence of PPAs actually. So that information is provided since 2019 and so on. So till last year 2023. Emission reduction program, what were the trends? So that information is also highlighted here, like 2023 the total GHG emission increased by 13% year on year, partially given by 37% year on year increase in our scope 2 actually. Okay, so that information is also here. Then what about the net zero goal, which is again defined by the company here, and one interesting line which you can read here: to meet this goal, we aim to reduce 50% of our combined scope 1, 2 market-based and scope 3 absolute emissions compared to, so the baseline here is 2019 actually, and also formally committed to science-based target initiatives to validate the absolute emission reduction target. So SBTi validation also done actually. Then reducing carbon emissions, carbon footprint recalculation is scope 1, electrification, refrigerant mitigations, renewable fuels, so that details are available. But this is very important figure. If you see here, the company is giving all the inventory related to the scope 1, 2, 3, okay, all the details. Even in scope 3 also you see the relevant categories, the suitable categories, and their tons of CO2 equivalents, and what is the percentage change actually. So that information is also highlighted here in this section actually. And moving forward, this is about scope 2, the qualitative information. Then the particular graphs are also available related to the scope 2 actually. Okay, so that information is provided. So renewable energy purchase compared with total electricity, annual impact of CFE purchase on carbon-free electricity or energy purchase on scope 2 emissions. So this is also provided here. There is a spotlight or case study if you see for business case why the scope 2 emissions have increased despite achieving a global 100% renewable energy match and maintaining 64% carbon-free energy. So why the scope 2 emissions have increased? So the details are there. So answer for the question here given. And also in this figure you see the 100% renewable energy matching and implication of scope 2 emissions. So the details related there, what is the key difference, and Google's 100% renewable energy match and scope 2 emission implications also. So the details are provided here actually. Okay, let's move forward. There are certain details related to the carbon free energy and its procurement. Okay, what efforts have been laid down to the data center for this carbon free energy. Okay, and in this figure you see run on 24/7 carbon free energy on every grid where we operate by 2030. So they're targeting 2030 now, and 64% global average carbon free energy across our data centers and offices. 64%, very nice efforts. Okay, then moving on, the details are related to the carbon free energy map of the global data centers, which is provided here. Very interesting figures to know and to understand, dear students, for ESG and sustainability. You see Google maintains 64% CFE globally on hourly basis across our all offices and data centers actually. Then there are some more details related to innovating purchase models or accelerated new and improved technology. Yeah, so these things are also there. And details are there for scope 3 emissions. Okay, the engagement with semiconductor industry. So those information also provided here. Supplier engagement, how the suppliers were involved, their feedback, their receipts, code of conduct, everything is written down here. And reporting the environmental data to whom actually, that information is also provided. Like, but some interesting figure here, you see what they write: we engage some of our suppliers to directly collect data and also encourage some suppliers to respond to CDP's climate change survey. So carbon disclosure project, this climate change survey they are sending to the suppliers to fill it out actually. So 312 suppliers to participate, 40% increase compared to 22, and at least 90% of the hardware supplier by spend provided data. So that information is also very useful for you. Now this is about embodied carbon, and in this we say we work to minimize the carbon footprint of our data centers, offices and consumer devices by considering embodied carbon of the materiality what is being used actually. Then relevant efforts related to the building and construction. Okay, it is also very well said that we use low carbon materials and mass timber for the buildings structure, which are estimated to have approximately 50% fewer embodied carbon emissions compared to traditional material like concrete and steel, factoring in sequestration also. Okay, very interesting to know. Also, company has certain interesting figures related to the sustainability travel. They use electric vehicle charging station for 10% total parking spaces in San Francisco Bay area headquarters. Commuter shuffles, okay, and talk about the sustainable aviation fuel also. Yeah, so company Google joined earlier sustainable fuel program which offers SAF credits to corporate consumers. Additionally, in 2024, Google joined the United Airlines Venture Sustainable Flight Fund also. Yeah, so there is some information related to the SAF as well. Managing residual emissions, how the company is managing it. So there is an approach for carbon credit, technology and nature-based removals, carbon removal, procurement. That information is also there. If you see contracted carbon removal portfolio, there is a company type, charm, industrial, ethos, carbon capture. So you can see those details related to this. Okay, so let's move. Okay, so there is some case study supporting environmental sustainability spotlight, like we can see supporting environmental justice, climate justice and just transition actually. So clean energy procurement, climate adaptation, fund solutions, green job skills and alternative livelihood. So those all interested areas have been highlighted related to this particular materiality topic actually. Now we come to the water stewardship. There are certain efforts which have been made by the organization related to the water stewards. So they write here like to replenish more water than we consume and help improve water quality and ecosystem health in the communities where the company is operating. If you see this information, advancing responsible water use in their data centers, offices and supply chain also, and we will see the benefits also. Like what is the approach? Advanced responsible water use at Google, benefit watersheds and communities and support water security with technology. So what were the 2023 highlights? It is given here related to water replenishment, fresh water withdrawal by water scarcity, right? And let's say suppose for an example what they write here, 69% of our fresh water withdrawals came from watersheds with low water scarcity and 16% came from water sets with medium water scarcity, and 50% with high water scarcity also. So this is the, and then global challenges related to energy efficiency versus local water use and availability of water stewardship projects. So that information also, like advancing responsible water uses. The company has water risk framework, which describes the data-driven approach to responsible water use in global Google-owned data centers. Actually, alternative water sources. That information you see here. Then, what's happening in the offices? Sustainability design standards. Okay, so they talk about the living building challenges also, green building initiatives, water infrastructure innovation. So that information is also available, and also very interesting, the supply chain also included here. So if you see the supply chain part, water is also used in our supply chain in the manufacturing of our consumer hardware. Some details are there. Also CDP supply chain platform related information. So we ask suppliers to disclose their water related data in CDP supply chain platform actually. So there is a set process for this and integration of the digital tool also. This reporting include data on water withdrawals from all sources. Yeah, and what is written, this is something very important, like 23 they received an 87% response rate from suppliers that we invited to participate in the water security survey actually. So yes, now we talk about the benefiting watersheds and communities. So improving watershed and ecosystem health is a critical part of the water stewardship strategy, and it's integrated with the water replenishment goals also. So what is the target of the replenishment? Like 120% of fresh water volume we consume, replenish that, and on average across our offices data center by 2030. So the trend and details are given here. There is a case study in the water stewardship project. That below are some examples of impactful projects and partnership from the 36 new water stewardship projects we supported in 23. So like in Arizona, United States, Illinois, Texas and other areas also throughout the world. You can see here certain initiatives which have been highlighted here actually. Supporting the water security with technology. So what the company is saying related to that we partner to develop the freshwater ecosystem explorer, an easy to use geospatial platform that provides national, subnational, business level data on freshwater ecosystem, which is given here. Circular economy, what the company is doing with respect to that. So maximizing the reuse of finite resources across the operations, products and supply chain. So what is covered here, we see that circular economy. So we design out the waste and pollution. So circular economy has been applied to the different phases of the life cycle of the waste actually. So we keep product and material in use, promote healthy and safe chemistry of the materials, like, and what are the efforts? Waste diversion, food waste reduction, resold components, pixel software support, and what were the challenges? That's most important actually. It is highlighted here. Circular workplaces, circular design and construction, waste diversion. There are multiple initiatives have been highlighted with respect to the circular economy materiality topic, and this is something very interesting to know. There is a case study of circular design and construction at gradient canopy. You see that with the details of quantitative and qualitative measures also. Food waste, a similar type of pattern has been utilized by the organization to disclose their information related to the food waste also. Then single-use plastics. These are very interesting figures to know and learn from the design and development of sustainability report perspective, and what efforts companies taking with respect to the environmental sustainability or identified prioritized materiality topics actually. Reducing data center waste, that again considered as a very important aspect. Achieving zero waste to landfill from global data centers actually. So that's the trend here. Designing more sustainable consumer hardware devices. So you see here there is information related to the recycled materials, so that is given here, the target of the company. In 23 progress was there. 30% of the plastic Google used in products manufactured was recycled content only. So then information is related to the sustainable packaging, product longevity, working with suppliers related to the manufacturing waste, safer chemistry. So all the initiatives, their relevant quantitative measures also been highlighted here actually. And then nature and biodiversity, what is covered related to this, we see here there are certain highlights. Okay, what are the highlights? That pollinator habitat, 21 to 23 we created 20 acres of new habitat on California campuses designed to support monarch butterflies and other pollinators actually. So this is very interesting. Habitat creation and restoration, 23 created or restored approximately 67 acres of habitat and planted roughly 4,500 native trees on Google campuses actually. So this is very interesting to know. So building for biodiversity, there are multiple initiatives related to this particular materiality topic, like developing guidelines for urban nature, creating and restoring habitat, managing and monitoring the habitat. And then we have a case study here, so you will find similar type of flow of the information disclosures actually. So nurturing biodiversity in the heart of the New York, what effort has been taken so that information is available. Then some other materiality topics which have been highlighted here related to the environmental sustainability, which you can read, very useful for you to understand. Then finally it comes about the appendix side, what is the information highlighted here. So talking about company, then sustainability governance, risk management practices, stakeholder engagement and partnerships. So we'll see here what is covered. This is about company CEO Sundar Pichai and other details related to the products and service lines of the company. Then sustainability governance, what is the governance structure, board of directors, and there is a audit and compliance committee which is also supporting the sustainability. They are overseeing, monitoring the performance, reviewing the performance of sustainability. Then risk management, definitely there is an enterprise risk management team, works with subject matter experts, and there is an integration of the sustainability strategy with the risk management framework also of the company actually. So something you can see here related to the climate related risk, water related risk, which have been already highlighted. Now if you see here in beginning 22, climate related risk and opportunities were analyzed across 3 time horizons, as we say, short term, medium term and long term, right? And the categorization of the risk has also been done: financial, operational, legal and strategic. Okay, so this can be also very useful for you to understand. Then stakeholder engagement partnerships, so what are the efforts have been made for conducting the successful stakeholder engagement. And then materiality assessment, so there are identified stakeholders like employees, suppliers and others also. So in 23 audit conformance data for environmental criteria. So this information you can see relevant materiality topics of environment, or you can see key focus areas, and then what is the progress of the company in terms of this particular subject. Partnerships also. Then policymakers, we have sustainability policy which is defined by the organization, and there are certain key pillars of the policy. Then we see global policy engagements, okay, with different topics. So that's also very interesting information. If you are interested to read this, you can understand about policy making and public policy advocacy. Yeah, then trade association and third party groups. So there are multiple organizations which list have been already highlighted here. Sustainability focused trade association membership and groups, so that information is given. Then you see the details we have discussed related to the multiple topics. and their full explanation or description is also given, which you can find it very useful for you. Multi-sector products like Google Earth, Google Cloud, so this information also available here. Ecosystem for collaboration, yeah, data commons, Google for startup and accelerator. So there are certain initiatives for that. Startup for sustainable development, so this has also been highlighted here, you see here. So these are the appendices, but one interesting fact here in the environmental data we see here, the assurance side. So what we are saying here to the third party auditors or assurance provider, we obtain limited third party assurance. So this is limited third party assurance from an independent auditor for certain environmental matrices, including GHG emission, energy, water matrices, and the company name is EY. Reviewed these matrices within the schedules of selecting environmental indicators for the fiscal year ended December 31st, 2023, and the schedule of the base year. So this information already highlighted here. So who did the assessment for assurance, methodology applied for assurance, it's also available here. Which topics have been captured and covered under that assurance scope, also been highlighted here in the details. Yeah, and then you see forward-looking statement, so that information provided, and then it comes about target data table actually. So relevant pillars, then what topics covered, materiality topic, what were the targets, units, measuring unit, and the comparative analysis between these 2 years actually, 22 and 23, and target year is 2030 for the organization. So this information is also available here actually. And environmental data tables, so as we have discussed earlier, starting from the baseline 2019, we have the scope 1, 2, 3 emissions already, data is available. Okay, so scope 1 is this for 23, scope 2 is this, and scope 3 also. In total it is there actually. For GHG emissions, energy consumption, GHG emissions, energy, everything, every information is available here provided actually. Carbon free energy, data center grid energy. Yep. So lastly, you see what certifications company has for 50,001 energy management, environmental management 14,001, then climate neutral data center spec, that information also there. So some other GBCI or some other certifications highlighted here. Then recognitions from CDP, that's also highlighted here. Very interesting to know. Thank you very much students, and this is about EndNote. I hope you like the case review or the case study review, and through this discussion you might understand whether the organization is following the same process for conducting the stakeholder engagement and identifying the materiality topics related to the environmental sustainability, and what management actions have been taken with respect to that. So you might learn this from the ESG strategy, framework development, design and development, the implementation, and then also from the audit and assurance perspective. Thank you very much, friends.